The country closest to the moon. Ecuador, located on South America's west coast, is home to the world's closest point to the moon. This distinction stems from a unique feature of the Earth's structure and rotation, rather than from towering altitudes like Mount Everest. Ecuador's location on the equator is critical to understanding this occurrence. Unlike the Earth's poles, the equator bulges outward as the planet rotates, making locations near the equator, such as Mount Chimborazo, the farthest from the Earth's core. Mount Chimborazo, an extinct stratovolcano in Ecuador, is approximately 6,263 meters, 20,549 feet above sea level. Despite not being the world's tallest mountain, Chimborazo's peak is the nearest point on Earth's surface to the moon. Because of the Earth's equatorial bulge, Chimborazo's peak is closer to the moon than Everest's summit, despite the latter being higher above sea level. Ecuador's equatorial setting produces unique physical phenomena. The centrifugal force at the equator decreases gravity significantly, influencing how water drains and shadows behave. The country's high-altitude locations, such as Quito, provide unique difficulties and breathtaking views, while the Galápagos Islands, with their incredible biodiversity, demonstrate another aspect of Ecuador's natural splendor. Ecuador is a fascinating destination for both vacationers and scientists due to its combination of scientific fascination, natural beauty, and ecological richness. 1. Ecuador and the moon. A special connection. The fascinating concept of being closest to the moon is influenced not just by height, but also by distance from the Earth's core. The Earth is not a perfect sphere, but rather an oblate spheroid, which bulges somewhat near the equator due to rotation. This equatorial bulge causes points along the equator to be farther from the Earth's center than locations near the poles. Ecuador, being directly on the equator, demonstrates this occurrence. The centrifugal force of the Earth's rotation is greatest around the equator, causing the Earth's equatorial bulge to be especially noticeable in this area. As a result, the peaks of mountains around the equator, such as Mount Chimborazo, are the closest locations on Earth's surface to the moon. Mount Chimborazo, an extinct stratovolcano in Ecuador, stands around 6,263 meters, 20,549 feet above sea level. Although it is not the tallest peak on Earth, Mount Everest stands at 8,848 meters, 29,029 feet. Chimborazo's top is the closest to the moon due to the Earth's equatorial bulge. Because to this unusual geological characteristic, Chimborazo's peak is farther from the Earth's center than Everest's summit, despite the latter's elevation above sea level. This phenomenon demonstrates the interesting interplay of the Earth's form, rotational dynamics, and geographical features. While Everest's peak rises higher above sea level, Chimborazo's location on the equator gives it a clear advantage in terms of proximity to space. This makes Ecuador not just a land of extraordinary natural beauty, but also a one-of-a-kind destination for individuals interested in the physical properties of the Earth. 2. Physical phenomena of the equator. The equator is a location of amazing physical occurrences, making Ecuador an appealing destination for both scientists and tourists. One of the most intriguing elements of the equator is its effect on gravity. Because of the Earth's rotation, centrifugal force at the equator pushes outward, slightly counteracting gravity. These result in a lesser gravitational pull than other locations on the planet. This effect, while modest, is noticeable. For example, standing on the equator, you may notice water draining straight down rather than the customary vortex that forms in other places of the planet, where water typically spins clockwise or counterclockwise. Another fascinating phenomenon linked with the equator is the sun. The equator is directly under the path of the sun, resulting in a unique shadow experience. Shadows can almost completely disappear at midday when the sun is directly overhead. This impact is most noticeable around the equinoxes, which occur twice a year when the Earth's tilt aligns the sun directly above the equator. During these times, day and night lengths are about identical across the globe, emphasizing the equinox's importance in balancing the planet's light and dark cycles. The form of the Earth and its rotating dynamics are responsible for these phenomena. The equatorial bulge created by the Earth's rotation and the sun's position at the equinoxes produce unique experiences that demonstrate our planet's dynamic nature. For everyone interested in the interaction of science and natural events, the equator provides a unique and interesting view into the forces that govern our world. 3. Life at high altitudes. Living at high altitudes in Ecuador offers both problems and remarkable experiences. Quito, the country's capital, is one of the world's highest capitals at around 2,850 meters, 9,350 feet above sea level. This high elevation has an influence on daily life because the thinner atmosphere reduces oxygen levels. As a result, locals and visitors frequently develop altitude sickness, which appears as headaches, dizziness, and shortness of breath. Furthermore, low oxygen levels can impair vehicle performance and cause batteries to deplete faster, complicating daily duties. Despite these limitations, Ecuador's high-altitude regions are known for their stunning beauty. The Andes Mountains, with their spectacular peaks and deep valleys, offer some of South America's most beautiful scenery. The high-altitude environment supports unique ecosystems with flora and wildlife that have adapted to the elevated conditions. This natural grandeur transforms the Andes into a haven for nature lovers and trekkers looking for breathtaking scenery and fauna. The high-altitude setting has a significant impact on local culture and lifestyle. Over decades, traditional Andean communities have adapted to their surroundings, adopting rituals and behaviors that reflect the high altitudes. The highlands offer a rich cultural tapestry with vibrant festivals celebrating local heritage and distinct culinary traditions. These cultural behaviors are strongly ingrained in daily life, offering an intriguing glimpse into how people flourish in such difficult circumstances. To summarize, while the altitude presents certain obstacles, Ecuador's high-altitude regions are renowned for their natural beauty and cultural diversity. They provide an enticing destination for adventurers and those interested in understanding living at high heights. 4. The Galápagos Islands, a world apart. Ecuador is famous for the Galápagos Islands, a spectacular archipelago located about 1,000 kilometers 620 miles west of the continent. This one-of-a-kind cluster of islands is famous for its incredible biodiversity and contributed significantly to the formulation of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. The Galápagos are home to a variety of animals found nowhere else on Earth, including the Galápagos tortoise and marine iguanas. The island's secluded environment has favored the evolution of animals that have adapted in novel ways to their surroundings. A boat ride across the Pacific Ocean leads visitors to the Galápagos Islands, a pristine natural haven. The islands provide exceptional animal experiences and serve as a testimony to effective conservation efforts. One noteworthy example is the transforming goal of a 52-year-old man who dedicated himself to cleaning up the islands. His efforts culminated in the collection of 1 million cigarette butts, which he transformed into art. This effort shows the importance of human dedication in maintaining this unique habitat. Sustainable living methods are also prevalent in the Galápagos. Residents adopt eco-friendly practices such as living off-grid, collecting rainwater, and gathering salt from the seashore. These traditions demonstrate a deep peace with nature and play an important role in protecting the island's sensitive ecosystems. In conclusion, the Galápagos Islands are not only a natural wonder, but also an example of environmental stewardship and sustainable existence. Their unusual variety, along with continuous conservation efforts, makes them a shining example of ecological marvel and a tribute to the power of committed conservation. The islands provide an unparalleled peek into the potential for maintaining natural beauty while cultivating a strong connection to the environment. Conclusions: Ecuador, a remarkable country on South America's west coast, holds the distinction of being closest to the moon due to its unique geographical features. This is not a result of towering heights like Mount Everest, but rather the Earth's equatorial bulge. The Earth, an oblate spheroid, bulges at the equator due to its rotation, making points along the equator, such as Mount Chimborazo, the furthest from the Earth's core. Chimborazo's peak at 6,263 meters, 20,549 feet above sea level, is the closest point on Earth to the moon, despite Everest's greater elevation above sea level. Ecuador's equatorial location brings about fascinating physical phenomena, including reduced gravity due to centrifugal force, unique water drainage patterns, and disappearing shadows at midday during equinoxes. The country also offers high-altitude experiences, with cities like Quito providing stunning Andean landscapes and diverse ecosystems that challenge and inspire residents and visitors alike. Additionally, the Galápagos Islands, Ecuador's remote archipelago, showcase incredible biodiversity and effective conservation efforts. These islands, crucial to Darwin's theory of evolution, highlight the country's commitment to environmental stewardship and sustainable living. Ecuador's blend of scientific intrigue, natural beauty, and ecological richness makes it a captivating destination for explorers and researchers alike. Let us know in the comments what you think about the country closest to the moon, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.